moment of silence for the death of Batman. Minnie's here.
Lord.
Minnie's here to kill it.
Uh-oh.
Do not adjust your screen. You are seeing the Batman, the Bat, the man, the myth.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it all this week on the MulTYversed. But you know what it is. We got to pay them bills, so let's go. What's up, y'all?
What's going on?
What up? What up? Going on?
MulTYversed. It's so good to be back another week. Always a pleasure to be here with my co-hosts Tyrone, Thornhill, and Holly Moon. And I'm sure everybody out there is wondering who these other gentlemen are. Well, we are so proud to be accompanied and joined by none other than the funny guy himself, the one, the only Mini Baby Grogu.
What up?
Can we give him a big round of applause? Can we?
All right.
You know what I'm saying? There we go.
Yeah.
All that. And of course,
okay.
to his immediate left, we are joined by none other than Seriously Black. Seriously Black, what's popping, man? What's good? Let's give a big round of applause for you too, brother.
Let's go. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get That's why they call me. That's why they call me Serious Black, man. My Death Eater mark.
We can't see it. It's just outside the camera, but we believe you.
You believe me?
There it is.
It is. We say it. It's peekaboo. That's what's up, man.
Yeah. See, that's what happens when you deal with a phone, man. You gotta deal with the phone.
No doubt, man. Listen, we here to talk about one thing and one thing only, man, and that's the Batman, man. It just premiered last week. It's doing numbers. Listen, we all got to see it. Before we get into it, anybody who's in here right now, this is going to be a spoiler alert. A spoiler alert. Listen, we talking about this, y'all, and I mean, take the gloves off. We came here to do it. Listen, I'm gonna jump right into the man who has been on social media, really giving Robert Pattinson a hard time. I don't want to waste no time. Listen, you my boy. I stay on your timeline, and I'm just sitting there watching as the Pattinson hate is just turning. It's turning toxic. I'm like, hold up. DC is finally starting to make a turn and doing some good stuff. And here comes the hate. None other than Mini Grogu himself. Mini, what do you have to say for yourself, man? Come on, man.
Let's start and let's be nice first. So let's do this. I will gladly say and give it to them that this is a great DC movie when it comes to setting up the world and setting up continuity or whatever for what's coming up next. I love the world they set up. I love the characters surrounding him. I love most of the character development surrounding him, except for the Penguin. They didn't really have a backstory too much, but I love the way they did it. They're going to have a Penguin series, so I'm pretty sure they're going to dive into that. So let's start off with the pleasantries. We'll go with that. Okay. Now, my problem with the movie is that Robert Pattinson seemed to just be listening to a whole lot of Smashing Pumpkins before he made it. Okay. That's my problem. All right. My problem is that I like my Bruce Wayne Batman 3 ways. Pause. I like Bruce Wayne in public. I like Bruce Wayne in public. I like Bruce Wayne with Alfred, and I like Bruce Wayne with the cowl on Batman. To me, those are three different people. Sadly, in this movie, it seemed like he was the same guy every time. Whether he was Bruce Wayne, whether he was Batman, or whether he was chilling with Alfred, it was emo Batman all the way. I call him Emo Bruce.
Emo Bruce.
I thought he was going to turn to the Crow halfway through the movie. I'm like, this dude is getting really good. Like, he's going to either start a punk band or something's going to happen before the movie ends. Because that's the only thing I like. I didn't like his portrayal of Batman at all. I honestly didn't. And then not that long ago, he said that the Playboy thing wouldn't really work for this character. I guess the way you're playing it, you're right, but the Playboy thing is kind of the whole Batman lore. So without that, it's hard. You know, you can do it. It has been done before, but it's hard without showing. To me, it's hard without showing the discrepancies or the non-similarities between Bruce Wayne when he's a rich boy chilling and Batman. Otherwise, everybody gonna know it's you, bro. You're the only millionaire that has all that time in your damn hands.
So listen, I made sure I brought a very admirable adversary for you to this whole. So I'm gonna bring him on and let him talk to you, man, because I feel like he got some things to say, man. Go ahead, talk to him seriously, Black. Where is he wrong?
All right. First off, you know, like I think it was more by design anyway. I've been telling people, you know, you've gone through the whole thing of, okay, which one is better, who's better, and everything. What's your favorite Batman, Bruce Wayne? And basically, I was like, this is the best year one Batman, okay, for what it is. So you have to continue, like, you know, this is year two, actually. You have to remember that Bruce Wayne is the disguise. So he don't have it all together with that yet anyway. Just like, you know, he's jumping and flying off. He's not using the cape with the wings and everything when he's gliding. He got on a whole Squirrel Girl outfit. You know what I'm saying? You remember that? So
yes, sir.
He's not all together. He's like still in the beginning parts of it, and he's still got to deal with that mindset. You know, I didn't really mind as much anyway because he was like Bruce Wayne for like what, 9 minutes out of a 3-hour movie.
Exactly.
You know, so. But yeah, he that was more by design and everything, and I think that was what he was really talking about on there, as far, you know, Robert Pattinson, when he was talking about, you know, it's just going to be Batman. You know, he's not going to be that playboy and everything because he hasn't gotten to that point yet. I even looked at it like this, because Christopher Nolan, you know, and Christian Bale, that was always my favorite. But, you know what I mean? He's got to put on that act, you know, to really, really, you know, keep his identity a secret or whatever like that. And he hasn't gotten to that part. And plus, you know, from what you saw in Gotham City, man, it was nothing like, you know, Christopher Nolan's Gotham City. That was basically like Chicago, man. It was nice compared to that. There was no 5-star restaurants in that Gotham City. That whole place was broke down. That shit looked like something from down the street. It
was basically all New York.
It was
basically what it was. It was just New York. I mean,
it was
Gotham Square Gardens,
York, man.
You know, like,
yeah, you saw that? You caught that? I was like, man.
Yeah, a lot of the buildings, like, it was straight up New York.
It was 1983 in New York. All it was missing was like guard. That's why they was talking about that would be great to see Joaquin Phoenix's Joker. I was like, nah, leave that alone, because, you know, but I get what they were saying with that, because Gotham City was like, all it was missing was like the big piles of like trash bags and stuff in the middle of the street, man. There was nothing that. What was he gonna do? Oh, I bought the place. What place? The bodega? Ew. You know, there was no place. So he didn't have any time for that and everything like that. And he was just, you know, he's just basically getting started. You know, that's my take on it anyway.
Okay. All right. Now, Holly, I know you saw the movie and you said it was good. So I want to hear what your review was, because I personally have a whole lot to say to both of these gentlemen. So I'd love to hear you first, though. What you got to say about the movie? What'd you like about that?
So I really like the Batman, and I think why I liked Robert Pattinson's version, going to kind of follow up on Sirius Black, I think it's a first year, and I like that you can kind of see he's still battling with his identity of like Bruce Wayne, the Batman, and I think kind of trying to figure it out. And I think if you caught where Alfred was like, hey, the forensic accountants are here, we need to go over the finances, you know, the money is not going to last, you know, like basically realizing, like, you kind of realize like maybe he's not really managing the company or doing anything related to his family's legacy in terms of a business aspect. So then you're like, how are you funding, you know, your, you know, being Batman? And you can kind of tell it was like very at the beginning stages where, like, if you look at the other Batman movies, I mean, the whole cave is like teched out. He's got all the gadgets, but that's just not where this is at, which made me it kind of made me believe that down the line, now that they know the renewal fund has issues, that maybe at the end of the movie going forward, we'll realize that he is going to step up and become Bruce Wayne and really take hold of his family's legacy and start investing and really looking at the money and really getting into that role. But I think it just showed him as Batman. And I think just starting out, and I think that's one of the parts, like with the other movies, minus Batman Begins, like you don't really get to see the beginning stages of how Batman begins and like what is that like in that process and figuring it out. It's like he's Bruce Wayne, he's a billionaire, playboy, he's going to these parties, everything works. Like, you know, he's all set up. And I kind of liked that wasn't the case here. So that's kind of, I liked it.
Yeah.
I like that take as well. But Tyrone, you said you were kind of in the middle, man. So I'd love to hear what you got to say now.
Yeah, I think Batman Begins did this movie better. You know, in my opinion, it gave us a more fleshed out Bruce Wayne and a more fleshed out Batman. And I see, for me, this was like a really good movie, right? It was, you know, shot beautifully. It was well acted, you know, stuff like that. The scenery was made, like everything about this movie, like it worked. But it didn't even have to be a Batman movie. Like they didn't even have to involve Batman in this movie. It could have just been like a good detective noir film. It was barely Batman. Like none of the villains were like really Batman villains that we know. You know what I mean? It was like Penguin wasn't the Penguin that we know. The deformed, you know, Penguin-like maniac. The Riddler was, you know, just a sad boy. You know, and you know, it was everything everything could have worked without the veneer of Batman. And I think that, so for me, it's like a good movie, but like not even in my top 5 Batman movies. I think that Robert Pattinson was a little bit one note. And I get that it was part of the character and part of the movie to just be sad. But it seems like that was pretty much all he was, except for like a few instances. Once when he was scared on the top of that roof. And then, you know, he was probably horny a couple times, but not many.
Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, there really wasn't much else to him. And, you know, it over that much time, that kind of started to get boring. It's like, okay, he's going to show up and frown for a while. Like, you know, he's also just like, real quick, Batman knocking on doors was one of the weirdest things I've seen. Like he just knocked on the door, like, can I come in? And they were like, no. And then of course he had to fight his way in, but like that was some like really Batman. But yeah, you know, just some side thoughts there. But yeah, to me, like it again, good movie. Like I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it. A little bit long, could have been shorter, but yeah, just I would have liked it. I would have liked a more Batman movie. But you know, I understand what they're going for. I get it, but I don't know if it helps your case. I don't know if it makes a strong Batman movie. My opinion.
Ooh, that was a lot to process. That was a very deep, detailed review there, Tyrone. But I will say this. I agree with Sirius Black as far as I think they did it by design. I think Matt Reeves has a list of things that he was going to put together, and he probably processed all of those things before he decided to do the Batman movie. And once he decided to do the Batman movie, all of these things kind of unfolded how they did. I think the Riddler was, I think Paul, what's his name? Paul Dano?
Yeah, Paul Dano.
Yeah. Dano, I think he did a masterful job.
See, I actually disagree with that, but I want to tell you after why, but please.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think he did a masterful job of what he was supposed to be, which is in essence, we don't know what he is. He's still an enigma. Enigma. My man.
Yeah,
my man. Like that's what the whole Riddler theme and everything that surrounds the Riddler is you're not supposed to, like, Jim Carrey gave us a version of the Riddler that was fun and quirky and you know, like a little devious, but this version of the Riddler, I feel more like sinister. Like he's got like I feel more of villainry. I feel more. I feel like he did
was
a
a
lot
threat.
I think when I watch this movie, first of all, the darkness of the movie is everything Batman. Like that's like I don't know anything more Batman than the darkness. And this was the darkness. This was a lot of darkness. And I was like, that's how you actually listen. When we fell in love with Batman, like you fell in love with Bruce Wayne and Batman to Minnie's point. But this version is not that version. He hasn't gotten there yet. So that's what I'm saying. Like we're seeing a broken child still, who's still mourning the deaths of his parents, trying to live up to all of these different things, and not knowing how to process everything. I watched this movie, and I can't wait till it comes on HBO Max so I can watch it a few more times, really to dissect it better. But I was totally enthralled in this movie. Yes, it could have been a little bit shorter, but I don't think a lot shorter. Like I maybe take 10 minutes
right.
off. You know what I mean? That whole ride away scene, that was unnecessary. But you know what I mean? Like, listen, this movie hit on all cylinders. The acting was superb. We had an all-star cast that did they think. John Turturro as Carmine Falcone. You know what I'm saying? Like Paul Dano as the Riddler. My man, what's his as Chief Gordon? What's his name?
Jeffrey Wright.
William Wright.
Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Like everybody who listen down to the Penguin. Of course, the Penguin. The Penguin killed it, even though he's not the version of the Penguin that we all know. This was set in a whole mafia.
Yeah, no, Colin Farrell did a great job. Yeah.
So, Minnie, you got a question? Go ahead.
Oh no, I got to defend myself because you let wolves at me right after, and I never got to be butter. So my thing is, 3 hours and you could have shown me more Batman, more Bruce Wayne. That's crazy. 2, how at the end the Riddler ended up being Logan Paul? That's insane. And number 3, which makes it, and by the way, they should have called the movie 3 Seconds of Daylight, because that's all you had. You had 3 seconds of daylight. It was nighttime the whole damn time. Another thing for me is, okay, I get you saying this year 2 is year 2 is year 2, but if you remember the last Batman we had, it was only 3 years within all those movies. When you look at the sequence, it's only 3 years. So are you going like year 2 super slow? Because if you're in year 2, how are you still depressed about your parents? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this other dude in year 2 was already ruling Wayne Enterprises and had a car, bro. And I'm talking about a car that somebody built for you. You know what I'm saying? Not that he had to build himself in the backyard. But this is what I'm saying too. I understand the take that they want to try to take, and I understand the artistic viewpoint that he wanted to convey. I just don't think that it went all the way in when you're talking about a Batman movie. Like Tyrone was saying, you could have just left Batman out, and this would have been a great movie. You know what my favorite movie of all time is? 7. This is like 7.
Yeah,
but with Batman in it. So like it didn't do nothing for me. And another thing too, I'm a huge Joker fan. Like that's my favorite character of all time. And the Joker needs somebody who's the opposite of him for that to work. And if you put the Joker next to this sad boy, ain't gonna do nothing. There is no balance there. There's gonna be nothing. Joker probably laugh at him like, really? This what I got? This what I gotta go against?
He's gonna bum the Joker out. That's how he's gonna beat him. He's gonna make the Joker so sad.
Exactly. Like the Joker's gonna kill himself because he's gonna be like, I have no one to go against. Like that's how he's gonna be. He's gonna kill himself. He's gonna Epstein himself. So like I don't really. That's the part that I didn't like. I like the movie for what they were trying to do, but I don't think it works for the Batman franchise when you're trying to like you're going real slow. You're going backwards. Like if you're saying, he hasn't gotten to being Bruce Wayne yet. How? You've been Bruce Wayne most of your life. You haven't been Batman most of your life.
Well, Benny, can I ask you this? Is it possible for there to be multiple Batmans that coexist in different universes that have different motivations and stuff like that.
The DC multiverse has been tried a million times. It's failed a million times, but it's been tried a million times. So I mean, it is a thing that you have to take that into account, because it might not have been as, when it comes to cinematically wise. I'm not talking about like comic books, and we're talking about like animated movies, because we all know that comic books, animated movies, sometimes DC be like this on Marvel, and people don't want to accept it. I'm with that, especially animated movies. DC's it's not even close. It's not even close.
Yeah,
we're talking about cinematic multiverses. It's like that. You know what I mean? Like DC's not even close. Every time they try, they fuck it up and try to start over. They're about to start over again with the Snyderverse. So yes, you can have multiple versions, but how many multiple of these versions are gonna suck? How many Jokers are we gonna get that are garbage?
So you think you think the whole, because there wasn't a direct representation of Bruce Wayne to your, like, you think the whole character is just scrap the whole character because there's no.
I don't think it has to be scrapped. I just think that it's gonna suck that the second movie he's gonna have to be a whole lot more Bruce to equal it out, because he's gonna have to explain how he's now trying to finally take into the persona of Bruce Wayne, and that be his what's it called, his costume or whatever, his ploy. So now he's gonna have to really get into that. They could have just got into that in this first one, and then the second one we can just have fun. Now you know what I'm saying? This one he was all Batman, no Bruce. Now the next one he's gonna have to explain how he Bruce, how he got some money, how Wayne Price is gonna be doing this thing for him to be able to keep funding his. He's not gonna keep being able to make his own suits and not get shot every day. He's gonna have to get Wayne Enterprises behind him sooner or later. So now they gotta get into that, explain all that stuff, which is fun, but it's not gonna make for a great movie.
Well, the thing about it, I think that makes Matt Reeves' rendition of this Batman so good is because what they're doing is they signed on to build that universe outside of the cinematic theater. So we have the Penguin series that is coming to HBO Max. You have Matt Reeves talking behind the scenes saying that he has these ideas for other characters to come into this universe, where you have they're doing a Batgirl series or movie on HBO Max. They're doing a possible Mr. Freeze movie. He's been in talks about. So when you start to see this universe building up, and you notice that they have Riddler and Joker in Arkham together. So we're Sellies now. So despite whatever I get on your nerves, you're the only person I have to talk to. You know what I'm saying? So when it's like the only person you have to talk to every single day, like eventually you guys find a way to coexist with each other. And so that idea, like they've done it on the Gotham series. And they did it pretty well on the Gotham series. So I think Reeves is a smart, very, very, and for this to be my first really experience with him, I thought he did like as a director in his directorial debut. This was awesome for me. So seriously, Black, after hearing everything that Minnie just said, like, about the fact that not scrap the whole character, but they're going to have to catch up. Is it hard for a millionaire to catch up? Is it like I mean, because let's not act like Bruce is broke. Let's not do that. All right. Let's not do it like Bruce has no money because Bruce was living in a shabby mansion. He's still living in a mansion, shabby or not. We call it antique when you're rich. Yeah. Be like, oh, it's antique. It's antique.
Yeah. Well, you know what? First off, I'll say props to Matt Reeves and everything for doing it different and everything like that. Kind of like, basically what you were just saying, Ty. Props to him on that. I know how jarring it could be for a lot of people as far as expectation, but this is not those other you know, Batman on that. Instead of a universe, everybody's kind of, you know, on that tip of calling everything multiverse now since Marvel. But I look at these Batman as, you know, these one-shot graphic novels that we've come to love and everything. I was just reading Arkham Asylum again. You know, it's still Bruce Wayne, still Batman and everything like that, but it has to do with him, you know, going through Arkham Asylum and everything and facing his own personal demons, thinking, does he deserve to be there too? And everything. It doesn't go on with the continuous story, you know, with him, Justice League, and everything else like that. It's just about him facing his demons. Matter of fact, man, I think, as a matter of fact, Minnie, I think it will be pretty good if they continue on with that he does actually concentrate in the next movie on getting it right, you know, as far as his persona outside of the cowl. I think, as a matter of fact, that would be a good point. That would be great. I mean, also, everybody, when you say, you know, whoever your favorite villain is, everybody says Joker first. You know what I mean? But again, props to Matt Reeves for taking it a different route and putting a lot of people don't agree, but freaking this Riddler freaked me out, man. He creeped me the hell out. He was just too real with that. But I mean, if they're going in the direction of like Hush and Court of Owls and stuff like that, that is something that has not been seen before. 1989 Batman, it was Joker, then Penguin and Catwoman, like now, then Riddler, and then Two-Face. We've seen all them now. And, you know, I was actually kind of like, oh, here we go again at the end of the movie when we seen his cellmate and everything like that. But I was like, okay, I'm going to just see what they do with it. You know what I mean? With Joker. Because ain't nobody, in my opinion, right now, they don't need anybody to try to top Joaquin Phoenix's Joker or Heath Ledger's Joker. Okay? Because when he gets on screen, you know, and I know that's the only thing that everybody's going to be thinking, okay, let's see your Joker. It's almost going to take you out of the movie. You're going to be expecting something. And Homeboy is really going to have to really work it. He's going to have to come with all cylinders firing and everything with his Joker, or else he's going to get roasted right here. Minnie's going to be sitting there right there. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're already ready. And I am too. You know what I mean? That's why I was like, you know, at the middle, I was like, man, you don't ruin the ride, you know, but I like this. Like,
he's not my worst Batman. I know I sound like I think that this is the worst Batman I've ever seen. I do not at all. I still got George Clooney at number one as the worst Batman that I've ever seen. George Clooney's still my number one, and Val Kilmer is still my number two. So we got George and Val 1 and 2. So he's not even on the top two. You know what I mean? So,
right.
And the reason why I like Michael Keaton number one is because he had an afro. Come on now. He's the only Batman with a fro. Even though it was a Jew fro, it was still a damn fro. Right? Bruce had a fro, nigga. That's what I'm saying.
Tyrone, you had like when I was talking about the movie earlier and saying how I thought the Riddler did a masterful job. You said you didn't agree at all.
Oh yeah, no, not. I kept laughing at the Riddler parts because he was basically the old wrestler Mankind, like doing an interview before a wrestling match. That's what he was like. And it's funny because I remember these stories coming out that were like, oh, Paul Dano is like, he can't sleep because of this role and stuff like that. And I was like, oh, he just did Mick Foley. Like it didn't translate to me. Like it wasn't for me personally. And I know I'm in the minority here, but like it did not look great on screen for me. And even especially at the end, kind of when he's just he doesn't have the mask on and stuff like that. It in my opinion, he overacted the shit out of it. And I think Paul Dano's a really great actor. But I feel like this was like I feel like this might have been kind of over the top. So that's my unpopular opinion on that. But I will say that you know, to kind of balance out the discussion between y'all two and Minnie, because you're arguing, like, you know, on one side you're arguing that it's a different Batman, it's a different universe and stuff like that, and that's not really what Minnie's saying is not the fact that this shouldn't exist. It's just that this version of Batman, this portrayal of certain villains, this universe, this world that they've created, is it working well? I personally don't believe it is. It doesn't seem that many believes it does. Y'all seem to think it does, and I think more people agree with y'all than agree with us.
Yeah.
But you know, that's so for me when you talk about you know, Joker's coming and Mr. Freeze might be coming, I'm like, you know, I'm not excited about it because it just it doesn't fill me with much excitement. You know, a Penguin series. Before I watched the movie, I heard Penguin series and I was like, okay, that sounds like it might be pretty cool. Now that I saw the movie, although I think Colin Farrell did a great job as an actor, is the Penguin character a character that deserves his own series right now, based on what we saw in this movie?
I'm not
I mean,
sure
there's
about
nothing
that.
really to him other than just being like a wise guy, which, you know, if you're gonna do a mob thing, that's cool, but does it, you know, again, does it have to be Penguin? You know, can it just, I mean, there's a lot of mobsters in the Batman universe. They could have chosen, they could have just left Penguin to be Penguin. You know, just different things like that.
I think the one part that is being left out there is the version moving forward to the series. The version of Penguin moving forward to the series is not just a wise guy. He's actually the boss now. Carmine Falcone just went to jail. He was the boss, and Penguin was the next in line. So now he's actually running the city moving forward.
Yeah, and that's why, and I get that. That's why I was like, if you want to do a mob show, do a mob show. That's great. You could do a Gotham City mob show.
But that's the similar that, like, I'm gonna tell you the similarities between this and Gotham, the series, are really very, very close, because they did it the same way on Gotham, and it actually went over very well.
I'm not disagreeing with you there. Yeah, I liked the Penguin in Gotham. They took a different version of the Penguin and they did it like better. They kept kind of like a Penguin spirit to it, and they did it better. You know what I mean? I think Gotham did the Penguin better than this movie did. So it's not that I don't believe there should be other versions of the Penguin. I think that, you know, other than like, it's what they used to do with like old superhero movies, like back in like the late 90s, early 2000s and stuff. A superhero movie would come out and like the hero would have the costume, whatever, but the villain would just be like some dude who had the name of the villain, otherwise no defining characteristics that suit that villain.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's just a guy who kind of is vaguely like this comic book villain. And that's the way that they did these villains. And it's something that I never liked in those older kind of superhero movies. It's something I love about the Marvel universe, is that they never did that to us. They gave us like the heroes and the villains. They gave them, you know, they made them look like they were
costumes
supposed to.
And all.
Yeah. You know, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, you know, like it worked great in The Dark Knight, worked great in Batman Begins. You know, Scarecrow was awesome. The Joker was great, you know, but it's then like you have to give them defining characteristics. Like the Scarecrow was undoubtedly the Scarecrow in Batman Begins. You know, the Joker was without a doubt the Joker in the Dark Knight. But you could have called this Riddler. I mean, except for the fact that he was doing riddles visually and acting and stuff like that, you could have called him anything. He could have just been some guy who likes riddles. The Penguin, the same thing for the Penguin. If they just called him Oz, it would, and never said Penguin to him, the impact on the movie would not have changed at all. It would have just been a character just named another name. You know what I mean? So, and that's, to me, that's not giving the villain the chance to really be a Batman style supervillain, you know?
Right.
I get it. I totally get it where you're coming from. Like that part I'm not missing. I think the for me, what Reeves did in this movie was focus on the Batman. Like that was like, it was like it was not so much about Bruce Wayne as it is how he became Batman, what is driving him right now as Batman. You know what I'm saying? And I saw that kind of unfold. Now we may see in the future, to Minnie's credit, him become Bruce Wayne, grow into his wealth and use it, you know, in a productive way to finance his many ventures as Batman. You know, and I could see that happening. What I do want to see though is established outside of the Joker in the Batverse. When it comes down to it, a lot of people aren't too familiar with any other villains that other than Bane and Joker. Outside of that, you know, you start pulling at, you know, like, oh, we can say Poison Ivy and we can say, yeah, but what I'm saying is like a real that everybody actually can relate to and kind of pull something from. Bane has been that person. Joker has been that person as of recent. We haven't had a Danny DeVito type Penguin, and it's hard to, when you have such someone who did the Penguin masterfully, like, to compare it. You don't have anything like that's the template. So if it's not that,
Well,
you know, like kind of,
I will say we just compared it to another good version of the Penguin that doesn't fit the Danny DeVito type, the Gotham version. You know what I mean? So there's a precedent for doing these characters in a way that works.
You're right, but
yes,
but one is on cinematic, on the cinematic big screen, and the other is on a TV series. So that's the only reason I didn't necessarily add the two. When I'm referring
who played Penguin on Gotham again?
I don't know his name.
I forgot his name.
But he was bad. He was a bad boy.
Yo, he was really good. He was everybody on that show.
Oh, I remember.
Good. Gotham was a really good show. What's up, Minnie?
We had three cinematic Jokers that were badass. You had Joaquin Phoenix. Mm-hmm. You had
Heath,
your boy Heath Ledger, and you had back in the old school
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah. So it has been done before. We have broken the mold 3 times already with that character. So
you're right. You're right. It's just that's like a main character like that. That's why whenever we talk Batman villains, Joker's name is always the first one that comes up, because like he's been the one that's been done the best, and pretty much the one that's the most energy has been spent in to making his character really good. That what they did a whole movie with Joaquin Phoenix just dedicated to the Joker. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't have a lot of other Batman villains. I mean, if you want to call, you don't see
Professor Pig,
Harley Quinn. If you want to do Harley Quinn and say she is technically a Batman villain, but I mean that's the next best thing. Like that's what I'm saying. We don't have a lot of villains that have their own movies and their own origin stories, but you could. And with Matt Reeves' universe, you get a darker version. Wouldn't you want to see a darker version of a Mr. Freeze? Wouldn't you want to see a darker version of maybe a Clayface? I've already said I want to see Solomon Grundy. You give me a Solomon Grundy
that was a good
movie.
One. That was a good one.
But see, like that's the thing, and it's
last
like
week we said that.
Yeah, but judging by those standards, even if it's darker, like I don't mind darker as long as it's good. And that's my thing is like judging by the standards you're setting, I don't think these ones were very good. And I think that's just it's going to be one of those things where objectively it's a good movie and the actors did pretty well. And it's just going to come down to opinion. You know what I mean? We can argue back and forth all day, and then neither of us are going to change each other's minds. But it's when I think about, like, for example, y'all are big up in the Joaquin Phoenix Joker a lot. I didn't like that Joker. But it's one of those where it was like, this was a good movie. Like, this was objectively a good movie. It was well acted, blah, blah, blah. Like, I can't sit here and say it's a bad movie, but I didn't like this portrayal of the Joker. And
I didn't either.
Yeah.
No, I didn't either. I mean, but I totally agree that it was a good movie.
Yeah, and that's how I feel about
he's a joke.
Yeah, and that's how I feel about the Matt Reeves version of like these villains. Batman himself, Bruce Wayne, he was middle of the road for me. I don't think it was bad, but I think that we got a better Batman in training in Batman Begins. I think we got a better version of that story of a Batman who's pretty much learning on the job and learning a lot of
Ra's al Ghul too, though.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But I mean, there were these moments when he decided, when he broke from Ra's, and like, for example, when they brought it up, he couldn't turn his head because of his cowl. They made that a thing. I love that. Like, just things like that. there were things that really made
a work in progress.
Yeah, and you could see him learning.
I could dig it.
Yeah, he kept changing his armor throughout the movie because he was learning lessons on the fly. He was getting his ass kicked, and he was like, "Yep, I need this now. I need this." Like and so even in that regard, this Batman who's learning how to be Batman was much more fleshed out. What this Matt Reeves one did better was give you a better overall story. That was like a fun, like kind of whodunit sort of thing. And I think
Detective
that's
Comics,
arguable.
man.
Yeah, and I think that was the and but I think that was the biggest thing coming because a lot of people don't know is that this script was really at one point Ben Affleck's. I believe Ben Affleck's was the original. He was this was originally supposed to be his. No, I mean like this was like I don't know who
it was
if he wrote it or if it was meant for him or what the case may be, but somehow Matt Reeves got a hold of it, decided that instead of having Ben and I think Ben had some other things going on too. So
he walked from it all on that.
But yeah, he was like, I want somebody else. You know, we'll go a route, and that's when they got my man Patterson. But listen, I can't disagree with any of you when it comes to your opinions on this movie. But I will say this: America, the world is speaking, and they're speaking with their dollars. And this movie is killing it right now in the box office. You know, I mean, I think it was 249 million opening weekend
worldwide.
So I mean, they you know, definitely, and all the most of the feedback has been positive about this version, and the representatives of the Riddler and Batman. And of course, we can't forget beautiful Chloe.
Zoe, Zoe killed it. She did a great job.
Zoe. Oh
yeah,
man.
she was a snack.
She was the closest.
Zoe absolutely murdered her part. You know,
and to me, to me, she did the best job as Catwoman. You know what I mean? Like as far as like the best job of portraying an actual like outside of the Batman, portraying an actual like hero / anti-hero kind of character, because she actually had the Catwoman attitude. You know what I mean? Like, was she the best Catwoman in the list? Nah, I think she was like number 3 probably. But you know, she did a great job in this movie and gave it the soul. Whenever she was on screen, she gave it the flavor that it was missing for me, and a lot of the times because of that.
Yeah, she channeled her inner. She channeled her inner Eartha Kitt on that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. One of the things that stood out to me was like she made every scene look, and I don't want to sound, you know, crazy enough, but she made up the sexiness that she kind of like exuded was like it felt so natural. You know how sometimes you see a person on screen go extra hard. You can see her.
Yeah, like they're trying too hard.
It was so effortless.
Yeah.
Like, and it was just like it just like everything was just like really. Even the scene where her and Batman are about to kiss and they get close and all. It was just like everything was so natural. Their chemistry was really good with each other.
And I want to give Zoe credit for that too, because Robert Pattinson had the same look on his face the entire movie. So like I felt like I feel like that was her too. I want to make sure she gets all the credit for that, because she did create sexual tension, but I don't think it was coming from him, because he was still like. Ugh.
But I gotta give props to Robert Pattinson, because if you research, he's the reason why she was even in the movie.
Okay.
So I'm not saying that they might have had something going on before the movie, and that's why it was so. I'm gonna say is that he was definitely pushing for her to be in the movie. He the reason why she got.
Hold up, Minnie. Did you say that they had something going on?
I'm just saying.
Hold up.
That was a little too natural for me. How come he wanted her so bad to be in the movie?
Don't you talk about my baby. Don't you talk about my baby like that, man.
I feel like I don't care how bad of an actor you are. I feel like you could take the worst actor and put them in front of Zoe Kravitz, and they're gonna be like, "I love you," and you're gonna believe that shit. You know what I mean? So I don't want to give him too much credit for any chemistry that they have. And I'm not saying he's a bad actor. I'm just saying, like, you know, that's all on Zoe.
Yeah, she right and everything. Holly all quiet, man. What's up?
Like hold up.
No, I did actually talk earlier in the
clear.
episode. No, I did talk earlier in the episode. She probably didn't catch when I broke down my whole.
She got her one chance.
Gave her a whole review on what's
You
going
need some
on.
more.
We gonna get Holly back in this conversation too, because that was gonna be my next question to you, Holly. When it came to how you perceived her representation of Catwoman on screen, did you think that she really gave it her all and gave a really good performance?
Yeah, I thought she did a great job. And I thought their chemistry was great. I was in the movies like, oh my god, are they gonna kiss? Yes, no. And my homegirl was like, Holly, shut up. But I like their chemistry. And no, I thought she did a really great job. I always say it's like if you could do like a modern version of Catwoman, like in the 20, I thought she did a great job. And I think there's a lot of elements infused when you talk about in the movie that were things that have happened with, say, within the last decade, like even the Riddler and how he had like the whole on his little, was it like Darknet? And he had his whole little crew, and like those places exist where you tell people to like go kill people, watch people on live get killed and things like that. I don't know. I just thought that those were cool elements. I would say the only thing that was like kind of like funny to me in the movie was like when Batman would walk in his boots, made those like the squeaky noise. I just yeah.
That was to let you. They did that purposely to let you know it's new leather.
Gotcha. They weren't broken in yet. He hadn't broken them in yet.
New leather makes that squeaky sound. Like he's just now trying on his outfit, just now getting out here. Like it's brand new. Like that is the squeaky noise of the brand new leather.
Yeah, that was getting me kind of after a while. I'd be like, it's real quiet. Why are we hearing the squeaky boots come around the corner?
You hear that? That's the squeak of vengeance.
Justice.
I like he was actually calling himself Vengeance. Like, was that when he was literally like, what's his name? He was like Vengeance. No, but like he kept calling himself Vengeance, and people kept calling him Vengeance, and I was like, I feel like he needs a new marketing person because the Batman thing hasn't caught on except for the Riddler, and that was his biggest fan. You know what I mean? Otherwise, everybody's like, oh, what up, Vengeance? You know what I mean? That was weird.
But look, that's the whole point. He's brand new. He's like literally he's like the funny part of all of this,
but it's still silly.
Is that we get to the end. This is him finally saving the day, like really saving the day, and you can tell that he's not used to it. Like he was like, you could say in that moment at the end when the little girl got, he's like, oh. This is what saving the day really feels like. Like this is the first time I've been thanked. Like the whole movie, the cops hate him. The whole movie, they're like, bring this guy. We want to fuck him up. Like the cops hated this dude from the jump. The whole movie until
watching him run from the cops.
Until
finally, because he worked with the cops so damn much in this movie, he might as well have had a badge on himself. Like he was basically working for the police department. I was like, I don't know if I like police Batman. Like, I like vigilante Batman better than I like Popo Batman. Man.
And he had to break out the Jeffrey Wright took it like a champ. He said, "Go ahead and punch me in the face."
You heard what he told him. He said you could have pulled the back. He said you could have pulled the punch. He said, "I did."
I did.
Yeah.
When he was running out the station, he was just running through cops. That was realer than anything, man. I was like.
I was surprised he didn't stop and wait for the elevator, though. That's some shit this Batman would do. Be like, nah, I don't want to take the stairs.
But this is a traditional theme with vigilantes. Is there is always usually an immediate blowback by the police and by the law enforcement and everything like that until you save the day. And when you save the day, next time they might be a little bit more lenient, might wait for you. Oh, thank you for getting here, Superman. Oh, thank you for
see your value. They see your value finally. That's why.
Yeah.
That's it. So I think that was what we saw, going into the end of the movie was him saving the day, the city embracing him now, you know what I'm saying? Because the cops was like helping him, you know what I'm saying? It was like, oh, okay, he's saving people. So when you see that moving forward, that there's a developmental, upward, there's an upward trajectory for him to be better, because he's now realizing what being a hero is about. Before it was just, you know, like cleaning up the city. My purpose was just to get rid of crime. Now it's not just about crime. It's now I got to build up the city. So that's where the Wayne Enterprise comes in. That's where I'm now using my money for more than just sitting with my feelings. You know what I'm saying? And
that's true.
Like
he
that.
did say that.
So
he did say that and everything like that. He got kind of triggered when Homeboy said, he like, who are you? And Homeboy was just like, I'm vengeance and everything. And because he could turn his head, he actually gave him a side eye and everything like that. You can see that he was thinking about that and everything. The other thing that I caught on to was the fact that this is why I was figuring out he was just still trying to find his way. If you remember the mayor-elect, what she was saying, she's like, you got this money, but you're not doing anything with it. I think that that's what's going to come next. Now that you got to clean up, well, like drain out Gotham City now, because like all that water and everything is flooded over. Like you said, like Ty said, you know what I mean? You got, you know, a whole bunch of stuff that, you know, this philanthropist can do now to help the city outside of the cowl.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you know what I mean? And just like to, you know, Homeboy's point right here, Mini Man, he was like, you know, Bruce Wayne will be able to do something and everything like that. And now that, you know, he does have a little bit more trust of the people and the police and everything like that, yeah, you'll see a difference. You know, I figured at first, you know, before I went to see it and everything, I thought this was going to be a straight one-shot movie and everything like that. But I had heard, you know, they were saying, Matt Reeves was saying they already got plans, you know, to continue this. And then I was also thinking about still, like I was saying, the Court of Owls storyline, because, you know, talking about, I did not think that they would have the nerve to actually go into that story about Martha Wayne and everything like that, and the Arkhams and everything like that. Because Martha Wayne, you saw a little bit of that in Flashpoint.
Crazy.
You know, the animated one. That's why she turned into the Joker in Flashpoint and everything. Yeah, Martha Wayne has some issues like that.
I'll be 100% out with you. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I wish Matt Reeves would have done. I wish he would have done the other Batman. I wish he would have done same movie, right? Take the same movie, but done
Thomas Wayne, you mean?
Thank you. Done the Thomas Wayne. Your son got killed. Your wife turned into the Joker. This all kinds of crazy. I'm an old man trying to fuck niggas up. That's how I wish he would have done that. He would have done that one for this type of world.
That would have been bold. That would have been real bold. That would have been nice. Yeah.
Instead, we got
right
Officer
on that.
Batman.
He set up to the crime scene with a notepad. Talk about what happened.
Right? No, I don't mind. Like that's the thing. I don't mind Batman being a detective, because obviously Batman is a detective. That's the whole part of it.
World's greatest detective. Yeah.
Watching him walk around like just in a room full of cops is just the weirdest shit. Like it was almost like a weird, like I don't know if like Matt Reeves has an infatuation with the police or something, but it just seemed weird to have the police this involved with Batman. I didn't like that aspect of it. Like, because no matter where Batman is in his like tenure or whatever, he and the police don't ever have a good relationship. He and Gordon do, and maybe like one other cop sometimes, but like never with the entire department. So it's like,
well, they were kind of like, what the hell are you doing here? Like, remember Homeboy was like, I want him out.
Yeah, but like the point that y'all made earlier, right? So it's like, right. So now all, you know, the grime has been cleaned up. So now we're going to do this new thing where Batman and the cops are like buddy. Like, I hope that's not the case.
No, I hope not. No, I don't want that either. No, because like, if anything, you know, a vigilante is going to make them look bad, especially if he solves their cases, you know?
Yeah, because if that's the case, then we got to make NWA the next villains of the next movie and really make a good movie here.
I don't know if I agree with y'all. I don't think Batman
Ice Cube is
being
Mr.
friends
Freeze.
with the police is a problem, since Batman's whole thing is he's not going to kill. Now, I think what you do is you open the door for him to have a good relationship with the police force until he kills. And then you have them turn on him, like, you know what I'm saying? And this is what Matt Reeves' universe, this dark, very dark universe, affords you the right to do. You can now have Batman killing people straight up. Like, at some point, he can start killing. You know what I mean? And when that happens, things get real rugged and real rough. And that's what I'm saying. Like, if this is what Matt Reeves had planned, and he's already saying that he's got all of these multiple projects, he had a whole world manifested in his head. And now what we're going to see is it all kind of unfold on the screen.
And for me, so far, his world not doing it for me.
Well, and that's fine.
For me.
Yeah. No, and that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is the overall opinion on this movie is that it's a really good work. You know what I'm saying? Like I, you know, from all accounts, the people going to see it, from people coming to review it, everybody's kind of in this space where either you loved it or you hated it. It's not a lot of people that
I didn't hate it.
No. Well, I mean, you're one person, Tyrone.
Oh no, but I mean, like, you say if you loved it or you hate it.
No, I'm just in an overall thing. Like, I mean, we get you. you are the anomaly. So, but what I'm saying is, like, I can see how, you know, because we're comic book fans, and because we're Batman fans, and because we want Batman to succeed, like, we really want Batman to succeed. That's like something we've been craving for a long time. And I understand the judgment. What I'm saying is, though, that we didn't get a bad version. There's room for improvement. And I think what Matt Reeves did was give us hope that we can keep going up in an upward direction. So that's what I'm hoping. Now, really quick, I want to know what you guys thought, and I'm going to go with you first, Holly. I want to know what you guys thought of the Batmobile.
Interesting choice of a Batmobile. Kind of gave me like Fast and Furious construction vibes, but
you beat me to it, Holly. You beat me to it.
It was an interesting choice of car. It just made me question, where's your money? Like, what's going on? But that's kind of all I have on it.
I'm gonna go around the table. What'd you think about the Batmobile and the bat cycle?
Oh, Lord.
Who are we asking?
Family.
Seriously, Black. My bad.
Family. That's what I was thinking. She beat me to it, man. I was like, when that thing came out the fire, it was jumping. I was like, man, look at Dom, man. But I did like how they introduced it, and how, you know, when it starts up, the automatic startup, that growl and everything, they really wanted to put that in there and everything. I was actually listening to something Matt Reeves was talking about. He was saying that he took that from was like Christine and everything. He wanted the Batmobile to seem as threatening as, you know, the Batman himself, you know, in this sense, you know what I mean? Of course, it's just a muscle car, whatever like that. But like she said, where's your money at? But, you know, he can't have like the tumbler because, you know, hey, Lucius Fox ain't there, man. Morgan Freeman ain't there to hook you up. You know what I'm saying? Now, that was a car. I love that all together. That was my Batmobile, man. That tumbler, I was loving that all the way. But I like it.
The team yet. The team isn't.
Yeah, he don't got the squad yet. Yeah. See, again, it goes with the theme of this whole thing. You know what I mean? You know, he don't got the squad. He don't got the suit all set out and everything, and he don't know how to act. You know, as far as, you know, keeping a public face. You know, but this is the beginning and everything like that. There is room for improvement on this movie. I get you, Tyrone. There's lots of room for improvement on this movie. I ain't gonna simp for it, but you know what I mean. But what I loved about it is that it was something different. That it was like, this was my favorite graphic novel Batman. I'll put it like that. I have like a list going on right now. If they were to do a decent Frank Miller Batman Dark Knight Returns. Ben Affleck, he even has the outfit. That was the outfit from Dark Knight Returns with the short bad ears, and he was like real muscular and everything like that. If they did a decent movie for Dark Knight Returns, I would need Ben Affleck back for that. Yes. If they do a Batman Beyond, now Michael Keaton is going to have to be Bruce Wayne all the way. Maybe get like a no-name.
I don't want to get too deep into this conversation before we finish the Batmobile conversation, because I think we got to go around the table still on that one. Yeah, don't want it.
All right.
All right. And then on that note, Minnie, what you think of the Batmobile?
The do-it-yourself mobile. It was cool, man. He put a Tesla engine in the back. It was dope. Like it's listen. It's cool for what this world is. Is it my favorite Batmobile? Not even close. I like the Tumbler better. I like the Michael Keaton Batmobile that was old school, looked like an Oldsmobile, way better. It was basically it was okay. It made sense for this, but it reminded me too much. Y'all remember the Punisher movie?
Yeah.
It reminded me just of that. He just took an SS and just like chopped it up. You know what I'm saying? It was that kind of thing. It wasn't like the Batmobile. Like when you think about the Batmobile, you scared of the Batmobile. I wasn't scared of this. Other than the engine was raw and it sounded raw, but the look of it didn't have no toys. The Batmobile got toys, man. You got grappling hooks, you got missiles, you got all kinds of shit. You know what I'm saying? The Batmobile got condoms that come out the bottom. I don't know if you know about that. They're not even Durex. They're purple and black. Trojans.
Safe sex in the neighborhoods.
You know what I'm talking about? He be giving it out. So it ain't have no toys with this one. I don't know about that.
Yeah. No,
Tyrone,
you're right.
What you think about the Batmobile, man?
I actually like this one for what it was. I thought it was fun. You know, it was a fun thing. The chase was it like a 30-minute car chase? That shit was long as hell. But
yeah, it was. It did feel like forever.
Yeah, but it was. But I mean, Batmobile itself was cool. My favorite one of all time is the Tim Burton Batmobile, the one that Michael Keaton had. I feel like that is the perfect Batmobile. I think this one gave me a little bit of Adam West vibes, though, the way the engine was in the back and stuff like that. And it kind of gave me a little bit of those vibes. I thought that was pretty cool. But give me like a Batmobile that looks ridiculous, like the Tim Burton one, you know, because it's a guy dressed as a bat and everything's silly as shit anyway. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind that's my favorite kind of Batmobile.
Yeah.
Matt Reeves again kept everything very raw, kept everything very new. You know, this is literally the probably the prototype for what they're gonna build, you know, what they're gonna turn the Batmobile into. You know, like you're just getting the rough,
everything is grounded.
Everything is grounded. He hasn't, you know, we don't have the team in there under the hood yet. They haven't put the condom dispensary in there yet. I like how we got to get it in there. So
I like how they pitched this movie and they were like, hey, you know how Batman's got all these great gadgets and he's like a really great fighter and he's like got all these, like, and he's perfect, he's got this playboy. What if we did a Batman with none of that stuff?
With none of it.
And like and then like the whole room was like, yeah, let's fucking do it. And they were just like, awesome. And then that's how we ended up here. I feel like they took all the fun shit out of Batman and like left us, you know, with a dark crime story, which was a good crime story, but come on, y'all.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, you know. But like I said, I know it's jarring to a lot of people.
Listen, we was gonna do some news today, y'all. I don't think we're gonna touch that. I think it's best to just go around the board, everybody give their rating of the movie, and then we can wrap it up. I'm gonna start with you, Tyrone. So let's do it simple. Let's do a 5-star. So any
out of
up
5 stars?
to 5 star. Yeah, up to 5 stars. What would you give this?
Okay. I would say if we can do halves, I would say 3.5 out of 5. I say this movie by itself, removing anything else from the movie, I think this movie was a good movie, and I don't really have any complaints about the movie itself outside of, you know, some of the Batman stuff. So for this movie, for the Batman, 3.5 stars for me.
All right. Holly, what are you rating the Batman?
I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5. I think it's a good start to whatever this Batman's story is going to be. Just it's a little long. And I think there were some parts where it kind of dipped and I had to kind of get back into it. But overall, I'll give it 4 out of 5.
All right. Respectable. All right, Minnie. We're gonna go to you, man. what you gonna rate the Batman?
If you want to talk about it as just a crime movie itself, I will give it a 3.5, just like my man's did. If you talking about me as a Batman fan, I give it 2.5. Maybe if they do a sequel and the sequel kind of like builds up on this, then it will change. But to what Batman to me should be, if you're gonna start a franchise, a Batman franchise, that's like a 2.5 to me.
Okay, all right, that's still not too bad. What about you, Sirius?
Yeah, I'll go ahead. I'm gonna give it out of 5 stars. I'm gonna give it 4. You know what I mean? I'm of course, when I walked out of there, when I first walked out, and I was like, still on that high note kind of thing. I was like, 4.5. Nah, I'll give it a 4 to be out of 5 to be fair on there, because, like said, there's room for improvement on it. But I'll give it the extra half star for the 4, just because of the fact that this introduced a really good graphic novel one-shot of the Batman, and given some different villains too. You know what I mean? Hoping, for Victor Zsasz or something like that, or Professor Pig later on or something like that. I'll think, 4 stars for me.
Okay. All right. Well, then that leaves who? Who hasn't gone?
That leaves you.
It leaves you.
That leaves me. To me. Well, with that being said, out of 5 stars, I'm gonna go on the higher side. I'm gonna say 4.25. We're gonna say that.
Okay.
Well, I say 4 and a quarter. 4 and a quarter. We're gonna go 4 and a quarter. I think it's a really, really good movie. Yes, I agree with everybody up here. There were spots where it was a little long, but as an overall story, overall new experience, I think Matt Reeves touched on all of the things that I wanted him to touch on. I think if there was one thing that I can say, Matt Reeves, that didn't bode well for me, is I didn't necessarily form a relationship with any of the characters. Like, I didn't like there's movies when I get really into the movie that, like, maybe it's something emotional or something. Like, I didn't necessarily feel sad at any point for Bruce Wayne or anybody affected in the movie. Like, I didn't feel sad for Catwoman and her mom
maybe
getting choked
Alfred
out by her dad. None of it resonated. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't feel like, I didn't get teary-eyed. I didn't, like, you know what I'm saying? And like listen.
Well, they started off so damn sad. Where do you go from there?
Yeah.
That is a good point. That's a good point. So so maybe keep it dark, but have some type of light. Maybe I don't know,
a little bit of wiggle room.
Yeah, just a little wiggle room. Maybe let me shed a tear or something. I don't know, man. But listen, guys, I really enjoyed this conversation. Like I said, I can't wait for this movie to come out again, so we can all get a better understanding. Because just seeing a movie one time, it's tough to really get deep into a review. But just from the surface level, I think everybody did a really good job.
Yeah.
Minnie,
I'm going tomorrow.
How you going again tomorrow?
To see it again?
Yeah, IMAX tomorrow. Yeah.
Can we give Holly a chance to give her rating again? Lisa accused us of boxing Holly out, but the whole time she's just been ignoring Holly. Lisa, pay attention to Holly when she talks to Lisa. Really? Okay. After International Women's Day,
we're gonna go to Holly. We're gonna go to Holly and get your rating.
Yeah, Lisa.
Holly, because somehow we've become womanized. I don't know. But
I said 4 out of 5 stars. Lisa, I said, yeah, some low moments, but yeah, I said I'm looking forward to what maybe to the potential franchise and everything like that. So yeah, we'll see.
Well, since I have you up already, Holly,
okay.
Go ahead and tell, because I don't want people to think we're ignoring you over here. But no, I'm just messing with you, Lisa.
Okay, yeah. No, I see the comments too. It's okay. Hi guys, I'm still here. I've just been listening very thoughtfully. I have to say this movie is a lot to unpack. It's 3 hours, and like even though I saw it the weekend it came out, I think for days after I was still like thinking, watching YouTube reviews. And like still trying to like process everything. But yes, you can find me on So Please Understand on YouTube. You can check out all my interviews there. And yeah, on Instagram at Holly Noon, like it is here on the screen. And again, tune in every Wednesday at 6:30 at on Facebook and YouTube on the MulTYversed. Tongue twister there for a second. All right.
Great job, Holly, as always. All right, Minnie, I was talking to you before Lisa accused me of ignoring Holly for the millionth time today. But can you go ahead and tell the people where they can get at you? Anything you got coming up? Anything you want to talk about, man?
Okay. So you can find me at Mini Baby Grogu at all social media. That's Mini Baby Grogu. I just thought I promised myself I'd never start a TikTok page, but I got a damn TikTok page. So please follow me on that. Every day I show something weird that I own. I own a lot of movie props. I own a lot of Funko Pops and crazy stuff. I collect a lot of crazy stuff. So if you want to see all the stuff that I own that I should not own for no reason, see me, Mini Baby Grogu on TikTok. What am I doing? This weekend I'll be hosting at Bonkers in Winter Park at Twisted Root. That is March 11th and March 12th. So I'll be there this weekend, hosted for Bonkers Comedy Club. Also, if you really want to find me, like honestly, guys, if you really want to find me, just pick up your baby mom's phone, and I'll be on the call off.
All right, let's get him out of here before somebody's baby father tries to come pull up. Tyrone.
Obviously every Wednesday at 6:30 on MulTYversed, Saturday mornings at 10 a.m. for the New Blurred Order. Tomorrow night I'll be on 1/7 Live doing an online show. If you're in the New York area, on Friday night at 7 I'll be in Manhattan doing a storytelling show at the Red Room. And catch us next week and the following week after that. We'll I'll let you in on what's going on that week.
That's dope.
Right on.
Thank you for being here.
Are we gonna get some footage, bro? Like
Maybe.
the page is thirsty for some footage now. Like, come on.
Maybe I'll see if I can record this and see what's up.
Yeah, man. Okay. Let's get some footage, man. Let's get it out there. Seriously Black, man. Talk to the people, man. Tell them what you got going on. If you want people to reach out to you, where they can get you. Anything you want to talk about, man?
Yeah, well, I'm the newbie on this and everything like that. Normally, you could just catch me just like, grandma and everything like that. Ty had to show me how to do this just to get on here. But I'm normally hanging out with everybody, on New Blurred Order on 10 a.m. on Saturdays and everything like that. I will see y'all with my receipts.
Catch them in the comments.
Hey.
Yeah, in the comments. That's I'll be right there in the comments with everybody else. So you can catch me there doing that.
All right.
I like it.
All right. That's what's up, man. And he will be there. He's always there, coming through with all of the jewels, dropping all kind of knowledge, man. So we appreciate the love and support. So look, man, we got to that time, man. Listen, I hate this moment where we all have to go our separate ways and wait a whole other week to talk again. But in this case, we'll be waiting 2 weeks. All right, guys, we're going to take a week off next week, and we will be playing a replay. Right, Holly? Is that on the calendar?
I think. Well, I have it as next week is Battle of the Sexes, and then the week after that's the week off.
Oh, okay. Scratch that. Tune in next week. Battle of the Sexes. Sex and Talk 2.
Yeah, March 23rd is the week off.
Okay, cool. Okay. Thank you. This is why she makes the big bucks. All right, listen, guys. You want to tune in next week. We've already done a sex talk that was crazy. If you didn't catch that part 1, it is on our YouTube page. Go check it out. We had some amazing conversations with some amazing ladies. And guess what? We're going to do it again. We're going to bring back some ladies. We're going to bring some new ladies, new faces. And also this time, we're going to bring the dudes too. So we're going to have the guys here to talk sex with the ladies. So listen, you don't want to miss it. It's going to be epic. Minnie's over here looking like he wants to join. I see his face. I already know. So listen, as every week, thanks everybody for coming through. Thanks everybody for the support.
All right, man.
Make sure you subscribe, like, comment, and share. Check us on the New Blurred Order this Saturday at 10 a.m. We're going to be talking about whatever we're going to be talking about, but just tune in. So for me, myself, Tyrone Thornhill, Holly Noon, Minnie Grogu, and Seriously Black, we are the MulTYversed. Until next week, y'all, be good.
Peace.
Peace.